story time. So, as from the title of the stream, it is a guy literally fell unconscious while in front of me, and I didn't even notice. I genuinely didn't even notice that. This isn't even like a clickbait or what happened or whatever. I genuinely did not even see this guy. Okay. So what happened was, me and my partner, we go downstairs because she's working the office today. Just before we open up the office, there's like two ladies, and they were literally inquiring over what how the accommodation works and stuff, because I'm assuming her daughter will be going into a school or whatever, and she was wondering if what the place is like and stuff. So I'm over there telling her, okay, yeah, obviously it's quite a small accommodation. It's very quiet. Practically everyone here is friendly. Everyone sort of gets on with each other, all that. So yeah, that's fine. So we basically just sort of tell her, just basically saying the accommodation's amazing and all that. You can see where I'm going with this. Very quiet, very relaxed, and they leave. And before they left, I walked over from behind the desk in the office. I walked out the office to go next to her with these sort of like the price listings and stuff. Anyway, she says goodbye. She'll probably call up the manager tomorrow. That was that. She leaves. As she leaves, another woman and an elderly lady come in. No, it was another woman and her child comes in, because the two women that I was just talking to was a woman and an elderly lady. A woman and a child comes in. She's basically saying, hi, there's a guy unconscious just right outside. I've already called the ambulance. He's taken some sort of narcotic. All his friends have just sort of run off and left him, but don't call an ambulance because I've already done it, blah blah. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, terrific. So I go back in the office and I'm like, you heard all that, right? And my partner goes, yeah, sure. So I walk over to the window to open up the blinds. And as I'm opening up the blinds, there's just a foot outside the window. There is just a foot. And I'm like, oh, that's a dog. So we look on the cameras, and she's not wrong. There is just a guy just spread out, like stomach first, just on the floor outside of the thing. So we're like, oh, okay, well, let's just wait for the ambulance, because I technically wasn't supposed to be in the office. I was on my way out to go and grab some food. So I thought, okay, well, I'll wait about a bit till the ambulance comes, so you're not on your own. Ambulance doesn't come. Instead, another guy comes. He's on the phone, so I'm assuming he's calling the ambulance. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go out to him and say that the ambulance has already been called. So I came up to him and said, hi, an ambulance is already on its way. He goes, oh, terrific. Okay, do you want to talk to her then? Because she seems to know much more about the situation than I do. I'm like, okay, I really don't, but all right, cool, thanks, I guess. So I'm there talking to the dispatcher. And she's like, hi, yeah, we already had a lady come in. She says she's already phoned the ambulance. Basically, he's taken some sort of narcotic of some description which I can't remember, and his friends came, saw him, and then made a beeline in the opposite direction, the direction they just came in. So I'm talking to her, saying, oh yeah, I'm basically security and stuff. So I'm talking with her to try and get an ambulance arranged. so a woman and a lady walk round the corner, and they had high-vis jackets on. Now, my immediate reaction was, "Oh, it's the patrol! It's the police patrol! Brilliant, terrific! They can handle all this, blah blah blah, all that." So, they sort of looked over. They saw the guy, but they were like debating whether or not to walk over. In the end, they did, thankfully. I realized quite quickly they weren't actually police. They were the university security. But I thought, okay, well, if anybody's going to handle this, I would rather it be an actual security team, because they're actually trained for something like this. Even the guy doesn't come to the university; he's unconscious on the university land. So, I'm sort of like half talking to them, half talking to the dispatcher. And the dispatcher was like, "Okay, is he awake? Is he breathing?" I'm like, "I don't know if he is breathing or not." And as I said that, the guy starts like jittering, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, he's just jittered. He's made movement." And then the female security guard was sort of like talking to him. He sits up and he's sort of like just responding to everything she's saying. And so I'm like, okay, well, he's being responsive. And the dispatcher asked me if I could ask him if he needs any like assistance and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, inside I was like, okay, I don't particularly want to talk to him. So I said, okay, I'm going to hand you over to the DME to the university to security, because they probably know more about what's going on. So I hand the phone over, and as he's basically sort of explaining what's happening. So I'm like, okay, well, there's not much more I can do. I'm just going to walk off. So I walked off to go and grab a Subway and went shot below. And as I'm walking back, the security people walked towards me. So I'm assuming everything's all been sorted. He's been taken care of. They basically said, yeah, he just walked off. We spoke to your colleague behind the desk, and excuse me, and we told her just to phone the ambulance and just to cancel it and stuff. So she did. But I walked back in, and we were just gonna, and obviously we have to do an incident report just in case. So Lou's there as she's writing out this report. I thought, okay, well, this is a good opportunity to see what actually happened. How long was he actually out there for? So I go over. I'm like looking over at the cameras. I'm rewinding it back. No joke. This guy walked from like the area which he took the drugs from. He walked over. He fell over face first into the road. Picked himself up. Walked over to outside the accommodation. Just sat down. Dropped and fell asleep. Literally 2 minutes before we got there. 2 minutes before we actually came down. We didn't even notice it. And what makes it funny was 2 minutes later, me and my partner comes down. We open up the office. The woman and the elderly lady comes up to talk to us about what the accommodation is like. As I'm walking out the office, come stand next to her with the pricing thing, all these people come flocking from the church to just sort of run over to this guy who's unconscious outside our building. And as I'm standing there, I'm standing here, and everybody's running next to me. Bearing in mind, obviously, I'm on the other side of the revolving door, so I can't actually hear anything because it's like practically soundproof. So, but again, all these people in my vision are just running directly in front of me to this guy, which is just unconscious. I did not even see anything, and it was comedic. It was so comedic watching that back on the cameras, because I'm standing there basically telling them, oh yeah, this is like a really, really good area. It's nice. Everyone's friendly. hardly have any problems. It's really quiet. I've got anxiety and ADHD, and this is fine for me. As I'm saying that, there's a guy flipping unconscious on the ground outside the building, and all these people are rushing over to him. I genuinely did not see him. And we're looking back at the cameras. I'm just like, this is so comedic. The manager's going to see this tomorrow, and he's going to be like, how did you not see that? And the thing is, though, if this happened yesterday, I would have seen it beforehand, because I always open up the blinds when I get in the office. Lou doesn't. Lou leaves the blinds closed. I don't, but she does. If I'd have opened the blinds as soon as I walked in, I would have seen it, but I didn't. But oh gosh, but that was just so funny.